Good morning students and welcome to your online class once again. So today in the pattern printing program I am going to show you that how you can draw Floyd's triangle. So let us see the technique to print the Floyd's triangle, which is different from the last pattern which I have shown you in the last videos. You can see on the screen that here the set of natural numbers are printed in a right angle triangle. It is basically known as Floyd's triangle, named on Robert Floyd's. So let us see that what can be the logic of printing this Floyd's triangle. To print this kind of pattern, so first of all I will ask the user to input the number of rows he or she wants to print. So for that you can see here that we are here having 4 rows, and you can see that 4 rows we are having and 4 columns also. So this is the row 1, this is 2, this is third row, and this is the fourth row, and you can see that here there are 4 columns as well. So as it is having 4 rows and 4 columns, it will give the desired output. It will print the number natural number from 1 to 10, but I want that user should print tell us the number of rows. So for that I'll take a variable name n, and now I'm going to write the input, use the input function to get the number of rows inputted from the user. So I am writing the statement that enter the number of rows. Okay, so I have written here the statement. So now the number of rows whichever will be entered by the user, suppose they entered 4 rows or 5 rows, so it will be stored in a variable n. You can take any variable name whichever you like. Now we will use this program, we will do this program by using nested loop. Nested loop is just means a loop within the loop. So we are going to use 2 loops. First loop will be executed for rows. So these are rows, and second loop I will write for printing the column. So you can see here that on the we are having here 4 rows, so which will be equal to the number of rows inputted by the user. So I am writing here a first outer loop for, I'm taking the variable name as row, for row in range, and I am writing here from 1 comma n plus 1. So as the number of rows will be stored in n, so I have used taken the range from 1 to n, 1 to the number of rows. So as we know that the n plus 1 will be excluded, the upper limit will be excluded, so we will get the value printed from 1, starting from 1 to the number of rows which user has entered. For example, if user has entered the number of rows as 4, so the range will go from 1 to 5. 5 will be excluded, so we will get the value to be printed from 1 to 4. Right, now let us come to the column part, that how the printing will go. Now you can see here that when the value of row is 1, the we need 1 column, so the value will be printed in the first column. When the value of row is updated as 2, the printing goes from 1 to 2. So it means the value of row is equal, the value of column is equal to the value of row. So I'll write like this here, that I'm going to write here the nested loop for column in range and 1 comma row plus 1. So if I write like this, 1 comma row plus 1, and for example the value of row is right now the row executes from 1, the number of rows inputted by the user is 4. So the row range will go from 1 to 5. So first time when the control will come here, the value of row will be 1, and the column value will go from again 1 comma 2. So 2 will be excluded, so we will get the value printed in the first column, and when it will be updated to 2, so it will go from 1 comma 2 plus 1 3. So we'll get the value, 3 will be excluded, and we will get 2 column where the value will be printed. Now let us come to the printing part, that what value we are going to print here. So for printing, you can see here that the value is every time the value is getting updated by 1. So as it is a set of natural numbers, so it is incremented by 1. First time I am having 1 here. When suppose if I add the value 1 plus 1, then I'll get the value 2, and if I add again 2 plus 1, so I'll get the value is equal to as 3. So I'm going to do one thing. I'll take a variable name here, suppose num. I'll define it as 1, and then I'm going to print the variable num here. So if I print the variable num here, so it will print the value 1 first time, and going to increment it by 1. Num is equal to num plus 1. Okay, I'll use the comma here because I want that the value should be printed once, and after that the line should be changed. And for changing the line, what we are going to write? We are going to write here the print statement. If you are using 3.7 Python version, you can use the end function here, because in Python I'm using Python 2, and in Python 2 print is only a statement, not a function. So I have to write the print for changing the line here, and I have to write the comma so that the first time till the time inner loop is true, this value should be printed consecutively in one line, and then it goes to it changes the line. So let us see that how it gonna work. Now suppose the value of n is entered by the user, which is 4, and here the control goes to the next line. Num is equal to 1. It is initialized. Now the control goes here, so the value will go from 1 to 5. So the row value will range from 1 to 5, which means that 1 to 4 the value will be printed. Now when the control goes to the column inner loop column part, now here you can see when the value of row is 1, the value of column will go from 1, 2. Print num. So here the num will be printed, which is 1. Value of num is again incremented, 1 plus 1. Here the value of num will become 2. Right. Now after that it will update the value of row, and the inner loop will get false. So it will the control will go out of the inner loop, and then there will be a line change statement, which is print. So line will be changed, and now this row outer loop will be updated. Now when outer loop will be updated, the value of row will get here 2, 5, and the column will be from 1, 3. So first time the print num, what it is going to print? Last time the value of num stored was 2, so now it will print the number this 2, and then it will update the value of num to 3. Again the control will update the inner loop first of all, and the value of column will become here 2, 3, and then it will print num. So value of num is now 3, so it will print 3. Again the value will be updated, as this 3 is excluded, so it will come out of the loop and then change the line. So this control will go to the row number 3. So this is how the execution will work. Now let us save the file and try to execute it and see whether we get the desired output or not. So now I'm going to enter the number of rows, which is 4. Now you can see that we are getting the same output which we have expected. You can try running it again and enter different number of rows. Suppose I entered 7, so you can see here that we get the desired output. So this is how the Floyd's triangle, the right angle triangle, will be printed. Set of natural numbers will be printed. I hope you have understood this. If you have any problem, you can write in the comment section below. For such more Python programs, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll be back again with some new programs of Python. Till then, stay safe, stay home. Thank you so much for watching.